Hey guys, Austin here. I'm one of the pastors over at the San Marcos Escondido campus, and I'm bringing you today's Daily Dose. As we continue our series and telling you guys some of our favorite stories of Jesus, I wanted to highlight one of the sermons that he gave to his disciples on the Mount of Olives. And through that, I want to encourage you guys today, this week, to just love the people that God has placed in your lives. And so here's what Jesus said in Matthew 25, Verse 34, he's talking to the disciples and he's saying, "Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world.'" Verse 35 says, "For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came and visited me." Verse 37, "Then the righteous will answer him, 'Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go visit you?'" And Jesus says in verse 40, he says, "The king will reply, 'I tell you the truth, whatever you did to one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me.'" For me, that is such a convicting passage because of the pace of my life. I feel like with young kids, with work, with growth group, with all the things that my wife, my family, we have going on, we move so fast. And through the quickness and the pace of our life, we so rarely look to the left and to the right as we go through our work schedule, our work week, when we're at home, when we're at school, to look at the people that God has placed in our life. I feel like if we read this passage and we were convicted, we placed this scripture on our heart, I feel like Jesus would be telling us to slow down so that in our daily life, we can see the people that God has placed in our life so that we can love on them. Here's one of my convictions. How often do you go home, open up the garage door, and the second your car has stopped in the garage, you shut the garage door so you don't have to talk to your neighbor? What if this week you slowed down when you got the paper, when you got the mail, when you took your trash cans in and out? What if you slowed down and you allowed yourself some space, some time to love on the neighbors that you have around you just at home? What if that looks like reaching out to a family member who maybe you haven't seen lately or talked to, just to slow down and love on that person, have a genuine conversation and find out that there's something going on in their lives where maybe they just need some extra support, extra love? What if today when you get to work, it's that person in the office next to you or the person sitting next to you at work that just needs some love? And I think if we put this on our hearts, if we use this as our prayer, Jesus, allow us to see the people that you've put in our lives. I believe that we as a church can literally be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ. Imagine what we can do this week, this month, if we live our lives according to this passage, when Jesus said, "What you did to the least of these is what you did for me." And I know sometimes this verse, we use that as the homeless people on the corner or feeding kids in Africa, and there's nothing wrong with that. But today I want to encourage you to maybe just slow down and love the people that are in your lives today, at work, at school, your family, your friends. Reach out to them, send them a text, give them a call, and just love on them. Because I think when we love the people that God has put in our lives, we're glorifying Jesus, we're growing his kingdom. And just imagine what we can do as a church if we go out this week and do that. So I hope there's some encouragement there for you today as you go out, you go to work, you go to school, wherever you're headed right now, just to love the people that God has put in our lives and just be open for Jesus to use us in those situations, to love the least of these, because through that we're loving Jesus Christ.